Now, in the group at North Carolina State, then we had Gertrude Cox was the department chair, and then she had that department was founded.
The statistics department was. You've heard that story about Frank Graham was the president of the Greater University, and he wanted and somehow or other they needed a statistician to accompany the School of Agriculture at NC State, and he wrote a letter to Snedeker, the principal source of statisticians, agricultural statisticians, asking for suggestions. And Snedeker types this letter, and then at the bottom in his own hand, and if you should be interested in a woman, back in those days, if perish the thought, yes. You should be interested in a woman. My right hand, Gertrude Cox, and so they contacted Miss Cox, and she establishes the department. I think it's in 1941. It's before the war. There's a stat department at NC State. And then when the war was over, Miss Cox, and maybe it's stimulated by Frank Graham, I really don't know, because he was president of the Greater University, got a sizable sum of money, apparently, from the Rockefeller Foundation to establish a department at Chapel Hill, and then another department on I forget where, anyway, that's the detail. And so Miss Cox had the responsibility of establishing a department of statistics at Chapel Hill, and she got Harold Hotelling, who was a very famous econometrician,
Indeed.
What have you, from Cornell, to come down and head up that department. Mm-hmm. So Miss Cox was quite just a high energy particle. The other thing about Miss Cox and the Greater University of North Carolina, and then establishing the two departments, that she played a role in establishing the research triangle right here in the Cary, Durham, Raleigh area. The story there is that she was at a meeting in New York City for doing something rather than probably raising money or something of that sort. And the story is she was coming back on the airplane and coincidentally sat next to Governor Hodge, I think it was done. And they were chatting about the research opportunities here and the property. And so I think Miss Cox helped catalyze, or was part of the catalyst of the research triangle area, the whole concept of combining the three great universities and providing a research arena and making North Carolina the important place it is today. Yeah.
So wide-reaching influence, certainly,
and then remarkable lady. Yeah.
Then also a cohesive department at NC State.
Oh yeah, we had a happy department.